What if I told you that one group of people consistently saves over 1/3 of their income, not because they earn insanely high salaries, not because they live boring lives, but because they think about money completely differently? Imagine earning $100 and automatically saving $36. Not accidentally, not if there's money left at the end of the month, but intentionally, every single time. This isn't a fantasy, this is reality for the average Chinese household, which saves around 36.1% of their income. Now compare that to the rest of the world. In Canada, the average household saves about 6.9%. In the United States, it's even worse, around 3.5%. That means many people are working just as hard, earning decent money, yet living paycheck to paycheck, stressed about bills, one emergency away from financial panic. Saving money is often portrayed as boring, restrictive, or even joy-killing. Scroll through social media for 5 minutes and you'll see the same narrative repeated over and over again. Travel more, upgrade your gadgets, eat out often, reward yourself because you deserve it. Spending is framed as self-care, while saving is treated like something you do later, after you're rich, after you're stable, after life finally slows down. But Chinese culture flips this logic entirely. In many Chinese households, saving money is not a punishment for lacking discipline or ambition. It is not a sign that you are missing out on life. Instead, saving is seen as a form of self-respect, responsibility, and intelligence. It is a quiet way of saying, I am prepared, I am careful, and I value my future. To understand why Chinese families are so effective at saving money, we need to go deeper than surface-level budgeting tips. This isn't just about using coupons or spending less on coffee. It's about cultural habits, historical experiences, and deeply ingrained beliefs about security, money, and survival. Turning deal hunting into a lifestyle. For many Chinese families, getting a good deal is not a matter of luck. It's a skill that is actively practiced and refined. If you've ever grown up around first-generation Asian parents, this behavior will feel extremely familiar. They don't simply shop, they research, they compare prices. Across multiple stores, they calculate price per unit. They remember historical prices and wait patiently for discounts to return. Buying something at full price often feels almost irresponsible when discounts exist, coupons exist, bulk pricing exists, or someone else managed to buy the same thing for less. Over time, saving money becomes a game, sometimes even a competition. Who bought rice cheaper this week? Which market had the best deal on meat? Who found the better promotion online? To outsiders, this behavior is often labeled as being cheap, but that label completely misses the point. For many Chinese families, especially immigrants, money was once scarce. Financial stability was fragile. Saving even a small amount could mean the difference between safety and hardship. Over time, what started as survival behavior evolved into a deeply ingrained habit. Getting a good deal isn't just about the money saved, it's about proving competence. I didn't waste my hard-earned money. I made a smart decision. I respected the effort it took to earn this. What you can learn. Instead of seeing discounts as a bonus, see them as the standard. Compare before you buy, not after you regret. Treat spending as a conscious decision rather than an emotional reflex. When saving becomes intentional, it stops feeling restrictive and starts feeling empowering. For families who started with nothing, financial success isn't optional, it's survival. Comedian Ronnie Ching once joked that Asian parents want their kids to become doctors not because they care about helping people, but because doctors don't get disrespected. The joke is funny, but it carries an uncomfortable truth. Financial security protects you from vulnerability, humiliation, and instability. However, this intense focus on safe careers can come at a cost. Many people experience burnout, lack of fulfillment, or the feeling of living someone else's dream. Passion is often sacrificed in the name of stability. The real lesson, Chinese frugality, doesn't teach us to ignore passion. It teaches us not to chase passion without strategy. Ideally, your career should sit at the intersection of skill, income, and sustainability. Passion is powerful, but without financial stability, it often turns into long-term anxiety. The scarcity mindset, why it works and why it hurts. Scarcity mindset is common in Chinese culture, particularly among older generations. It is rooted in the belief that resources are limited, security can disappear quickly, and preparation is essential for survival. This mindset creates positive behaviors such as disciplined saving, strong work ethic, and cautious spending. People learn to plan ahead, avoid unnecessary risks, and appreciate what they have. But scarcity mindset also has a darker side. It can create fear around enjoying money, reluctance to take calculated risks, and constant anxiety even when someone is already financially secure. Many people continue saving aggressively long after they no longer need to, because psychologically, they're still preparing for a crisis that may never come. Balance is everything. Healthy frugality says, I prepare for the future and allow myself to live. Unhealthy frugality says, I must never relax. Recognizing when you are safe is just as important as becoming safe in the first place. A deep cultural hatred for debt. In many Western cultures, debt is normalized. Credit cards, car loans, and buy now, pay later systems are presented as tools for convenience and lifestyle upgrades. Debt is often framed as a stepping stone towards success. In Chinese culture, debt is viewed very differently. Debt is often associated with danger, stress, and loss of control. Borrowing money means depending on someone else and risking future stability. As a result, many Chinese households strongly prefer a simple rule: save first, buy later, own outright. Being debt-free is not just a financial position, it is a psychological state. It represents peace of mind. What this teaches us: not all debt is inherently bad, but debt for consumption often traps people in cycles of stress. Living below your means is not weakness, it is power. Zero-based budgeting. Every dollar has a job. Zero-based budgeting is a system that aligns naturally with Chinese financial values. The idea is simple. Every dollar you earn is assigned a purpose. This doesn't mean you spend everything. It means you plan everything. Your income is intentionally allocated to necessities, savings, investments, emergency funds, and enjoyment. Nothing is left unaccounted for. This method creates clarity, control, and awareness. It reflects a deep respect for money and reinforces the belief that every dollar matters. Hating waste, a core value, not a quirk. In many Chinese households, waste is almost offensive. Food waste, money waste, and resource waste are all treated seriously. Leftovers are saved, old items are reused, nothing is thrown away casually. This mindset is not about deprivation, it's about respect. Someone worked hard for that money. Someone took time to cook that food. Throwing it away dishonors the effort behind it. This habit encourages creativity, resourcefulness, and gratitude, even if it can sometimes feel exhausting in a modern, convenience-driven world. Eating at home, the ultimate frugal habit. Eating at home is one of the strongest money-saving habits in Chinese culture. Home-cooked meals are cheaper, healthier, and deeply tied to family connection. Restaurants are typically reserved for special occasions, not daily convenience. Over time, this single habit saves thousands of dollars while also reinforcing discipline and routine. The dark side of saving too much. Saving becomes unhealthy when it is driven by fear instead of planning. In China, excessive saving is often fueled by the lack of social safety nets, fear of medical expenses, pressure to support extended family, and expectations around housing and marriage. This can lead to constant stress, delayed happiness, and reduced economic growth. When people save excessively, money stops being a tool and becomes a burden. Final thoughts: at its core, saving money is not about numbers, percentages, or spreadsheets. It is about how safe, calm, and in control you feel in your own life. What Chinese frugality teaches us, beyond habits and techniques, is a fundamentally different relationship with money. Money is not there to impress others. Money is not there to constantly prove that you are successful. Money is there to protect your future and reduce unnecessary suffering. This is why Chinese saving habits tend to work so well. They are rooted in realism. They assume that life is unpredictable, that stability is fragile, and that number one is coming to rescue you if things fall apart. This belief can feel heavy, even uncomfortable, but it also produces resilience. However, the lesson is not to live in permanent fear of the future. One of the most important takeaways from Chinese frugality is knowing when to stop, knowing when saving has done its job, knowing when financial security has been achieved, and when it is time to let money serve your life, not control it.